This spot we're going to be checking out the brand new DC Comics DC Designer Series, Aunt Lucia, the DC Bombshells figure number 2, Harley Quinn. As I had mentioned with the Wonder Woman, this was one line I was really looking forward to, always being a big fan of the Bombshells art. Overall, I think Harley Quinn's turned out pretty good. Looking forward to look further into the details and the accessories. Let's go ahead and do that now. Alright, well, you know what? Let's start with a negative. We'll start this review with a negative. The only thing I don't like about this figure is the face. Scratch that. The only thing I don't like about the figure is the face, the expression that's on the face. The face is actually pretty good. We bring the camera back a little bit, we plunk right there. There's the box, the side box artwork. Just got a lot of personality going on here, and unfortunately, I just don't feel like the figure translates nearly as much of the playfulness that we end up getting on the side box art. I wish Harley Quinn actually looked a little bit more like that. Big, joyous smile, big, adventurous smile. You just know she's getting into trouble. This one here, she's just so casually smiling, which I guess just doesn't read as much for me. The Wonder Woman, I think, was a really good translation from source material over to figure plastic. Harley Quinn, while everything else about the figure I do like, one big thing for me, Harley Quinn should have had one big smile on her face. She does have a smile, but it's just not as much fun as I was hoping. I mean, fair enough, the face is really pretty. Again, they've done some great job on the eyes where you've got that little bit of reflecting going on in the pupils. The face is not quite a solid white. In fact, it's kind of almost really got like a little bit of a purple tint. You may not even see it maybe through the camera, but it seems to have a slight purple tint to the white here. And she's got some circles painted on her cheeks. She's got a little diamond there right underneath her eye. I mean, they've even gone as far as to paint the eyelid right above her eye, which some small details like that certainly go a long way with me. I like also that the hair curls around the ear, so you've got that sense of depth. It's not just a one layer looking figure. There's like a lot of extra little depths and details going on there. I like also that she's got the goggles up at the top there. Very Bombshell Harley here. The dipped pigtails dyed in red. Some detailing there on the back there with the Joker's wild bomber pilot jacket there. I don't know about the collar. The collar looks like it's a little on the dingy side. It got a little bit too much orange and yellow to it. I wish that was maybe just a little bit cleaner. I know they're trying to go with more like a faux fur kind of treatment to it. Kind of gets a little muddy up here, I think, with the orange there. She's got little medals there on the side of her jacket there as well. Nice details there. Some outlining, they've even gone as far as to outline the bra area of her shirt, because, I mean, there's not really much in the way of under outfit that she's sporting here. Again, and she's got the alternating black and red thigh-high tights here, and even has a Joker playing card there at the side of her leg. I think ultimately, though, I think I just like the Wonder Woman a lot more. Like, she's, even like the boots and everything are nicely painted in the brown, and you got the laces going on there as well. There's so much I would like about this figure, but ultimately it just boils down to the head sculpt. Why could they not have given her a nice big smile, like a lot more, even like a bigger eye socket? She's just so casually smiling. I want just gleefully happy Harley Quinn instead. I like that she also has the alternating pockets here. Painted also in a shinier paint to kind of stand out versus the matte coloring of her shorts. Just lots of detailing here with the stripes on the leggings. Again, the Harley Quinn logos there, and little markings here on the sides. And I mean, even as far as like painting and sculpting the undersoles are also on the figure too. For some reason as well, I seem to find that this Harley Quinn doesn't stand well. And I don't know if it almost looks like, and it can't be, but it seems like this leg seems a little higher up than this leg right here. Ultimately, it just means I'm bending the leg a lot of times to get her to properly stand. If I straighten out the legs as they are, and I just kind of bend the boots to make sure that they're leveled, it just seemed not to be able to get her to properly stand unless I bend at the knee. Like so. And she seems to stand fine as then that be the case, but don't really want to have to bend her knee every single time to accomplish getting her just to simply stand. Okay, so let's have a look at her accessories that she comes included with. She has this really interesting barrel mallet. I can't imagine she would be able to actually wield this, but somehow she manages. They did not paint the rivets, the little rivet points here on the ringlets, but nonetheless, it's still a nice looking mallet. Like that they've added a little wash there to bring out the grain of the wood. Even like the little wrappings here of rope that they've put to the top. Very nice piece. Moving along then, of course, she's got to come with a cap gun. And rather interesting, nice touch to the little cap gun is an even smaller, right there, a little smaller Batman. That's adorning the little handle section of the cap gun here. I like that. I like that little small touch. And even like looking at small, that's small. They've even painted in the cowl, the mouth area, even the utility belt and the bat emblem also have been painted in. Just the care to detail that I appreciate. And then rounding out the rest of the batch of accessories, she comes with some interchangeable hands. Some playful hands I like, at least, that she's got kind of like a dynamic kind of hand, flat palm hand, and then she's got a peace sign hand, and then she's got a partially opened hand, and she's also got like a closed hand here. Harley Quinn gets a ball joint for her posability. The pigtails are soft rubber. Be a little careful that you don't accidentally rotate these too much, because if you imagine you'd be creating some sort of stress mark there on the hair, they might eventually break. Hinge shoulders. This one's a little bit more stuck, but it's the same idea as this side here. A rotation, excuse me, a rotation on the bicep here. She's got a double bend in the elbow, which is kind of the same issue that Wonder Woman has. It's great that you can get the hinge, because let me just show you how much of a bend you can actually get on these. You get a good considerable bend in the arms, but the downside though is when you straighten out the arms, you leave this big awkward looking gap in between the forearm and the bicep section. She has a rotation also in the individual hands, which also allow for a hinge section there. She has not only a crunch, which actually resides in the waist section, but she also has a ball joint in the upper torso. Forward and back on the legs, as well as a good considerable split. Double hinge on your knee, not your knee, her knee, and as well a hinge on the foot. No ankle pivot in this instance. She solely has a ankle hinge. For the designer series Bombshells Harley Quinn, she pretty much gave me everything I would want from a plastic rendition of this character, except for I think the one crucial, and that was a great facial expression. Her face sculpt is great, don't get me wrong, but I don't feel it's nearly as fun as the Wonder Woman. The Wonder Woman just conveyed this fun, joyous facial expression. Harley Quinn just doesn't have that. If it was anything closer to what we would have got in the box artwork, I think I would have been much happier. From the neck down, I think the figure is great. The accessories are great, but I don't know, she misses the boat slightly, I think, when it comes to the expression that they chose to go with. If you are interested in adding her to your collection, you can find her at your local comic book store. Can't find a comic book store in your area? What? You can go to www.comicshoplocator.com. It's as easy as that. Speaking of easy, if you're also new to this channel and you haven't subscribed, clicking the subscribe button down below will introduce you to not only the video that you've just watched, but also a ton of other videos that you maybe haven't had a chance to check out before. Like maybe more Harley Quinn videos are your fancy. There's a playlist for that, as well as tons of other playlists as well. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.